Good morning. Talking this week about the Lord's Prayer. There's something that came to my mind. It's not the magic of having all of the elements of the Lord's Prayer perfectly in order and saying it just the way it appears in Matthew and Mark. It's knowing the ingredients of it, like Our Father, family, which art in heaven, to where you art in elevation. Hallowed be thy name. It's respect and it's reverence. It's worship. It's worship. Today we're going to talk about, and the truth is right there, you may not even touch on all of them every time you pray. But I was evaluating while I was thinking about this the other day. In our worship services, we really hit on most of these all the time. We really do. And that's very important. I can never figure out why we don't use this Lord's Prayer more. Why is it reserved for funerals and maybe weddings and for special occasions? If Jesus told us to pray this prayer, wow, something to think about. But today we go to the part of this prayer and elevate the ingredient of thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Have you ever driven a vehicle that was all over the road? I mean, you just couldn't seem to keep it where it was supposed to be. Put it this way, it was work to drive, but it was just like back and forth and back and forth. It's a real joy to get in a vehicle and just sit back and relax and enjoy the drive, and it just tracks down the road so nice and straight. None of that push and pull. I'm amazed even my two older vehicles have had front end work done on them, and they track beautifully down the road. I bring that up to talk about thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There's a lot of vehicles that need an alignment job, a front end alignment. As Christians, sometimes we need not really a front end alignment, but a head alignment and a heart alignment. And here's the truth of what this means. So that my will and my thoughts and my desires would be perfectly lined up with what God wants for my life. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Well, let's be honest. Sometimes our will gets in the way of God's will. Isn't that true? And that's not a scolding, because Jesus struggled with the very same thing. He was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. By the way, let me just tell you a little story. There's a place in the Garden of Gethsemane. I've been there. Our tour guide took us to this place where there's an olive tree that's been there it's huge. It's been there for he told us, nearly 2,000 years, while the rest of them have seemingly depleted and they're gone. That tree has been sustained for nearly 2,000 years, and at the base of that tree there's a huge rock in the Garden of Gethsemane. No one knows for sure. I'm fully aware of that. But it made a good tourist stop for the guide to be able to say, this could have been the very tree and maybe the stone where Jesus knelt. Something has kept this tree alive for over 2,000 years. And that's where Jesus was in that garden when he prayed, Father, I don't really want to do this. It's going to hurt me to go to the cross. I've got to totally surrender if I do that. The weight of taking every person's evil, crusty sin and paying the price for that, for the whole world. He's saying, my heart is broken just thinking about it. I feel the pain and the punishment without pursuing it any further. He's saying, if there's any other way, that redemption could happen, I've just about gone as far as I can go. I can see him as he takes a breath. Not my will, Father, but thy will be done. Not my will, Father, but thine be done. That's when you got a perfect alignment job between you and God. God sets the direction. And even though it's not easy sometimes, and you struggle sometimes, you say, not my will, but thine be done. But thine be done. Perfect in line with God's will. It was a sacrifice. It was, there was punishment. There was pain involved. But Jesus was willing for it. And that's one of the ingredients of the Lord's Prayer. That I will have an experience where I surrender my will and get it out of the selfish, arrogant vein of wanting my way and saying, God, nevertheless, thy will be done. May you have a good day today.